We wake up, we have breakfast, we play, he has a nap, and it's a fun day. Like, it's just the two of us playing all day, and so it's lovely. I love it.
How old's Ethan?
He's 8 months.
8 months, and look at him. He's got fine pair of lungs he's letting us know.
I'm feeling devastated that the year's coming to an end, and every month that goes by I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, 1 month more until I go back to work, and
I see you.
I'm just counting it down now, and it's devastating.
Have you chosen a daycare? Is Nona coming in? Do you have a nanny? What's your choice?
We've chosen a daycare nearby.
Hello, I'm here to drop off Ethan. Ethan, welcome. Come on in.
Thank you.
What I would suggest to start with is to take Ethan to the daycare.
I'm glad you're here. Do you want to come and see?
And sit with him, get comfortable with the staff, get comfortable with Ethan at the daycare before you do the final drop and leave.
Say hi, friend.
He's a huge Sesame Street fan.
Oh,
so cute. It was nice to see him independent, but also sad at the same time. I like being by his side.
She's going to be seeing that he's not fussing and crying and that he's happy to interact with other children. To be honest, 9 times out of 10, the child has no problem transitioning. It's actually the mom that has the issue.
It's sad because I know it's kind of the end of an era, but happy to see when I was stepping back, he adjusted beautifully. He was enjoying playing, and it was nice to see all the other kids there having fun.
Go, Ethan, go. Go, Ethan, go.
What a sweet baby. Nanny Robina joins us now live. I met Ethan before the show, and I understand, from a parent's perspective, it can be really tough because you're thinking about the transition when you're going to be leaving them. You haven't left them with anyone before, for a long period of time. So one of the things you say is you need to actually start getting your baby out there and socialize before you've got to go back to work.
Oh, yes.
So that it's a little bit easier and the baby is maybe used to other faces and other people, right?
Absolutely, and I think because when you're on mat leave, especially first-time moms, that baby doesn't leave your side. It's literally glued to your hip, right? You barely want to pass it over to anyone else. So when you're entering an environment where there are a lot more children, it can be quite distressing actually for the baby, let alone yourself. So you want to get out there, socialize your baby, get with other moms, and also not just one-on-one dates. Get the baby used to larger crowds, because I've actually been with a child as a nanny where we've entered playgroup on a large scale, never left my side. And I realized it was something we were going to have to work on because he was overwhelmed with those larger crowds, not used to it. So absolutely, yeah.
There's so many drop-in centers and mommy and me groups and parental groups that you can start checking into, so use those resources. It becomes even harder though if your baby is still on the breast.
Oh yes.
So you're going to have to figure that out and back time it so that you're doing some weaning.
Yeah, and let me tell you, it's probably one of the toughest things that you're actually going to go through is trying to wean the baby onto a bottle, because a lot of babies will actually reject the bottle.
Yeah.
If they're used to the breast. So it's something I think you're going to have to start early. Yeah. Like maybe pumping your milk at an early point and getting the baby on the bottle if you're going back to work, because this is really important.
For sure.
If the baby won't take the bottle, guess what?
You're not going back to work.
You're not going back to work.
No, or the baby's coming with you to work every
and you're going to be awake all night feeding the baby because he's going to starve till you get home.
Right.
So you want to sort of really work on that. That's probably the #1 email I can get when babies are going back. It's like, my baby won't take the bottle. Let me tell you, you've got to persevere. You've really got to persevere and look for different bottles, and look for bottles also and the nipples that resemble your breast, because studies show that if it's like your breast, it's an easier transition.
Yeah, and there are some babies, I know some of my mommy friends, they went through so many different nipples before they found the nipple that the baby would take. So yeah, you've got to go through that. When it comes to sleep, I think that's a big one for a lot of parents, because you get into a certain schedule and then you think to yourself, okay, you are going to be at daycare during this time. So what do you need to start considering when it comes to their naps and their sleep time?
Find out what the schedule is from the daycare, first of all, what time they nap, and start adjusting the baby's nap. You see, now if you've been on mat leave, and I get this all the time when I do a consult, they'll, oh, do I have to get up at 7? I mean, I'm on mat leave. Can't we get up at 8?
Oh, no.
The reason I actually schedule 7 is 7, I know this is coming. you probably got to be out of the door at 7 o'clock,
yes.
you know? And also, my own point of view, it's a baby's natural biological wake and sleep time. So you want to start scheduling the baby's naps to actually suit the daycare. So you may have to shift things around. If you've been getting up at 8 o'clock, you got to pull his little toes out of bed at 7. You want to know that you can get out the door on time and that his nap comes at the same time as the daycare nap them.
Now, should you even take it a step further and kind of rehearse that whole idea of getting up, getting breakfast, getting dressed, getting the baby dressed, and getting out the door?
I think you need to have a trial run, because parents always say, I'm going back to work. I can't imagine. I can't even begin to think how I'm going to get out the door at 7 o'clock. Let me tell you, everybody does it.
You'll do it.
Okay, you'll do it. You always do it. You always get there. But get your baby bag ready the night before.
Yes.
And the daycare will actually give you a list of things that you are required to bring with you.
Yeah.
And they will also tell you what they don't want. Okay, so things like, you know, you want to have the baby's favorite blankie and the soother, diapers, wipes. You want to have all that ready. You also want to have your work gear ready. Shoot out the door and do a pre-run. So if you're taking the baby to the daycare prior anyway, make sure that you're going to do at least 1 or 2 days at the time you would be leaving for work.
Right.
So you can, like, get through that frazzle time. You know, like that first morning, you start getting stressed out and you're getting frazzled because you're like, am I going to make it? Am I going to make it? So allow that and do a couple of pre-runs first in order to take that anxiety away from yourself.
I would rather wake up at 4 in the morning and be calm than wake up, get 2 extra hours of sleep, and be frazzled.
Yes.
It's a terrible way to start your day.
No, I totally agree with you, because if you feel like you've had to rush that last couple of steps of the morning, you get all stressed out yourself, and also the baby feels that stress.
For sure.
So now both of you are stressed. So allow yourself that extra time.
I know we did sort of the transition period with daycare, so that even if you're still on mat leave, you can take them there and you can leave them there if you're worried about it. And I was such a chicken to do it with Sydney that I made Leo and my mom do it. I didn't want to do it. And you know what?
It's heartbreaking.
It was actually horrific each time.
Yeah.
Like, he would go in there screaming every single time.
Yeah.
And I would say, so, Mommy, how'd it go? And she'd be like, oh, it was okay.
But you have to know, you know what? It
wasn't okay.
No, but you have to know babies.
It took like 6, 7 different visits before he was okay with it. And that's what you have to do. You have to keep going through it.
But you see, babies don't like change. So although they're crying, it may, you know, what you have to overcome yourself, and part of your anxiety there is knowing that it's because you're changing things up. This is different. Babies do not like most things that you're going to change. Babies don't like and will fight you on it.
Right. Because why would they want to change it? Things are working well.
Yes, they're staying at home.
Why are you changing
they're watching TV, they're all snuggled up with you, and now, hey, now he's going to be out and he's going to socialize with a lot more babies.
Yeah, like, I don't get your boobie anymore. I got to go out the door in the morning. There's a bunch of strangers around me. I don't like it.
It's all fun. And you know,
they will get to like it.
They will get to like it. I mean, for the most part, there's probably just a very small percentage where children don't adapt well, and you may have to rethink what you're about to do.
Yeah.
If the baby's upset, the whole time and never overcomes it. But it's so rare.
It's rare.
You know what? Babies love being with other babies. Yeah. Sorry, Mum, but he's probably down to get away from you at this point.
Hey! Really good tips, though.
Like, get me out
it's
there.
all about making yourself feel good so that you can actually get to work and be okay and have some peace of mind.